first, we begin with a breakthrough development in the search for the person who shot students at Brown University, as well as a top MIT professor. Police say the suspect was found dead, and he died by suicide in a New Hampshire storage unit just last night. Investigators identified him as 48-year-old Claudio Manuel Nueves Valente, a former Brown PhD student. We also have a clearer picture on the suspect's movements. The attack happened Saturday in Providence, Rhode Island. Then 2 days later, the gunman killed an MIT professor in Brookline, Massachusetts. Police found the suspect in Salem, Massachusetts last night. That's about 80 miles between the scene of that mass shooting and where the suspect's body was found. As it turns out, a post on Reddit helped crack the case. According to an affidavit, a person police referred to as John had several encounters with the suspect before the Brown attack. The tipster wrote that law enforcement needed to look into a gray Nissan with Florida license plates. Authorities also revealed the tipster is the man they were looking for just a few days ago, who was in proximity to the suspect.
To me, this was always going to be an investigation where something was going to break it open. We were going to pull threads. We were going to gather evidence that would lead us in a particular direction. And I will say that if we were with you less than, well, I guess now more than 24 hours ago, we had that picture of that second individual. And I would say within an hour, no more than two, I think it was under an hour, that person came forward to two Providence police officers over on the east side and said he had information, that he was that person, and he had information that could help this case.
Meanwhile, as you can imagine, many are still mourning the two students and the MIT professor who were killed. Brown University students say it's going to take a minute before things even feel close to normal again.
I mean, I definitely think there's a sense of relief in the community having found the person. I think that will make everyone feel a little bit better, but I really don't think that justice can truly be served until we do something about these issues that keep happening over and over again.
I think now that we're kind of in the later few days of this, it's, we're all starting to get back into the flow of things, going back to regular daily motions. It's still a little bit hard, but we're, making our way there.
And joining us live right now is Anna Schecter, Senior Coordinating Producer for CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. Anna, what did you learn from the evidence so far that helped put the pieces together in this case?
Well, it's really a stunning story that this person named John posted to Reddit, that he had this encounter with Valente. And if you look at the affidavit, he had actually seen him a few hours before the shooting. He was down on the ground floor of that engineering building in the bathroom, saw him, and felt he was suspicious enough that he actually followed him out to where the vehicle, that gray Nissan, was parked. And he describes playing a cat and mouse game, watching him, and at one point even running up next to him and saying, your car's back there, why are you circling the block? And he told police that Valente told him, I don't know you from nobody, why are you harassing me? But that individual was concerned enough to take note of the make and model. Now, my big question is, if he posted early enough, could police have prevented that attack? It seems that police became aware of the Reddit post on Tuesday after the murder of the MIT professor, and then they were able to interview him on Wednesday, and that's when the case really did crack open, and they were able to get the name associated to that rental car. The vehicle description was key, flock safety was key. So it's just a stunning, quick kind of waterfall of one thing led to another once they were able to talk to John.
Yeah, and there's still so many unanswered questions this morning. A big one, I would say, for many people watching is a motive. So what gaps do you feel are most important to fill in as of right now?
Well, we need to talk to people who knew the shooter. We also want to know what was on his laptop. Have police recovered those electronic devices? What was his digital footprint? Were there warning signs? All we know right now is that he and the MIT professor studied together from 1995 to 2000 in the same engineering department at a university in Lisbon, Portugal. The university gave us a statement confirming that. Then, while the MIT professor stayed on and worked his way up within that university in Lisbon, the shooter got a special lottery visa to come to the United States and enrolled in Brown University's engineering PhD program. This was in the year 2000. The university says that by April of 2001, so that's that spring semester of the first year at Brown, he essentially stopped going to classes and didn't formally disconnect from the university until 2003, but they didn't really have any contact with him. So was it jealousy over this star MIT professor who has this plum job studying fusion, leading a team of more than 200 people, when this previously bright, promising student in engineering didn't have the same outcomes? But we need to learn more about this shooting. There is so little on him on the internet. It's really actually stunning. Did he scrape all of his presence on the internet prior to this attack? He certainly was planning this, because if you read that affidavit, it says that he rented that Nissan on December 1. So that's about 2 weeks before the shooting, and he was kind of driving around. Witness testimony suggests that he was actually casing the area, planning the attack at Brown University.
All right. Anna Schecter, thank you so much for that update today. Appreciate your time. And in about 30 minutes, Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Neronha will join us live for more details on this case, and you can watch it right here on CBS News 24/7. But right now we want to go live to the White House and CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, the Trump administration says the suspect in this case came to the U.S. in 2017 through a diversity visa lottery. Now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says that program is on pause. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. This is a program, Mugo, that allows in about 50,000 immigrants every year via a lottery, particularly from countries that are underrepresented here in the U.S., specifically a lot of African countries. President Trump has made it no secret that he would like to see fewer African immigrants to the United States. And he has actually criticized this particular program in the past. And so it wasn't entirely surprising that once we learned that, that this suspect came into the country via this lottery program, that the Secretary of Homeland Security would announce that the program was being placed on hold. Now, there's no indication right now that this suspect had any criminal history that was missed during the background checks that were part of his admission into this country. So there's no indication right now that the program worked in a way that it wasn't supposed to, but nevertheless, it is on hold, and there's no indication right now how long that hold is going to remain in place.